One petal can start a war. One drop of blood can end it. Kamala stared at the encrypted message glowing on her burner phone from her old Interpol handler. You have 24 hours to burn the dragon, or we burn you. The black roses on the penthouse floor weren't a threat to Kamala. They were a signal to Yong Sun. The rival Black Lotus clan was marking his territory for a hostile takeover. But Yong Sun's reaction wasn't fear, it was recognition. He knew the code. Before the city streets ran red, she needed answers from the heir himself. The estate was off the grid, a fortress built for the syndicate's elite to disappear. Kamala slipped past the outer perimeter, neutralizing a motion sensor with a burst of static from a jammer in her pocket. There were no guards on patrol, no dogs, just the overwhelming sound of the rain. It was too quiet, a trap waiting to snap shut. She stepped into the courtyard, her finger resting perfectly on the trigger. But Yong Sun wasn't hiding. He was sitting on the wooden veranda, the rain blowing sideways across him. His white shirt was soaked, and a dark, heavy stain of fresh blood was spreading across his ribs. Kamala stepped out of the rain, kneeling beside the Mafia heir. The clan was already fracturing from the inside. The blood on his shirt was from his own lieutenants. The vultures were circling, and his father's empire was burning. Yong Sun's voice barely carried over the drumming rain, exhausted and quiet. He acknowledged her bypass of his security, not with anger, but with a weary validation, confirming she was exactly the ghost he had anticipated. Kamala almost let her guard slip. In the suffocating silence, she confessed the weight of her exhaustion, speaking of a life spent running from shadows, though she never uttered the word Interpol. She came to Seoul to disappear into the noise, not to fight his wars. For the first time in 3 years, she wasn't looking over her shoulder. She was looking at a man as broken as she was. He confessed his own isolation, his words heavy with the weight of his collapsing empire, while the rest of the underworld only saw the blooming power of his syndicate. He knew she was the only one who could see the thorns tearing him apart from the inside. The tension finally snapped when his hand tangled in her damp hair, pulling her into the shadows of the veranda. The physical gravity of their shared isolation took over. It was a slow, desperate collision, a forbidden crossing of lines that neither the syndicate nor the agency could authorize. In that fleeting, dangerous second, beneath the weeping gray sky, they weren't rival assets or mafia heirs. They were just two ghosts seeking a brief, lethal warmth in the dark. Before we reveal the deadly blade hidden inside this embrace, we want to hear from you. We are building a global community here at Blood and Roses Chronicles, and we want to know exactly where in the world you are witnessing this dangerous dance unfold. Drop your city or country in the comments below. We love seeing how far these stories of survival reach. While you're down there, hit that subscribe button to join the fold. Now, back to the shadows. Viewers expect a surrender to passion. Instead, Yong Sun's eyes turned to dead, black glass. His voice turned venomous, stripping away the vulnerability of the rain. He hissed his accusation against her throat, condemning her as an operative of the Black Lotus. The romantic illusion was shattered by his cold, calculated paranoia. He had known she was a ghost since day one. He let her get close, let her see his blood, just to test her loyalty. Kamala choked back a denial, her heart slamming against her ribs, but doubt flickered violently in the back of her mind. Had her old handler sold her out? Had Interpol fed Yong Sun the lie to force her hand? Survival instinct violently overrode the betrayal. In a blur of desperate precision, Kamala struck his wounded ribs, breaking his grip, and vanishing into the monsoon before his enforcers could fire a single shot. Bleeding and compromised, Yong Sun raised a single hand, his command echoing through the deluge. He froze his enforcers in their tracks, claiming her as his own personal target. No one else was allowed to spill her blood. Kamala tore through the city, bursting into the shadows of her safe house, breathless and shaking. But her sanctuary had been breached. Lying dead center on her bed was a manila envelope. Tearing it open, she didn't find a threat from the syndicate. It was a surveillance photo of Yong Sun's murdered father, a black rose resting on his chest. The clipped note confirmed her most terrifying suspicion. She was being framed. The true architect of this Mafia war knew exactly who she was, and they were forcing her to choose a side before the blade finally fell. If that brutal twist of the blade sent a chill down your spine, then click that like button right now. Subscribe to Blood and Roses Chronicles to join our community for more cinematic journeys into the underworld. Drop a comment below. Who is the real predator in this rain-soaked chess game, Kamala or Yong Sun? Remember, the world might see someone quiet or broken when they look at you today, but never forget, you hold a signal that can change everything. See you in part 3.